Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Metroid Zero Mission 100% on this fine morning. 100 items to collect, so let's get started. I'll do a countdown. We'll start in 3, 2, 1, go! So, Metroid Zero Mission. Fun little game, remake of the original Metroid for the NES, but they added a lot in this remake. An entire extra part after the Mother Brain final boss fight from the original, a few more items, lots of quality of life. It's mostly based on what Super Metroid and Metroid Fusion brought to the table. And yeah. 100 items to collect, starting with the Morph Ball, the famous upgrade, change it to ball form, roll underneath stuff, get to the next point. Now, one of the additions to Metroid Zero Mission to the original Metroid that Metroid Zero Mission did, is this statue system that points you towards the next upgrades. We're actually not going to follow it for most of it, because this statue actually points towards the long beam, which makes your beam travel across the screen. Now let's see if we can make this cycle. Oh, almost. And instead we're going to take a few shortcuts built in. Oh. And got stuck on the R button, L button there, in order to collect the missiles first. Now, what the developers of this game built in a lot of shortcuts, so you can play Zero Mission you have a lot of freedom in the way you play Zero Mission. You can do the bosses in any order you wish, and there's a lot of room for technical show off. Now this boss, we do want to kill it in one go, because if you damage it enough and miss, you have to kill the boss at a later stage. But we do want to get Charge Beam here. Charge Beam allows you to charge your beam. Sounds logical, does more damage. But what it also does, if I hold a charge shot and I spin jump into an enemy, it kills the enemy, just like there. Now with missiles and the charge, but specifically the missiles, we can get going into the later part. We'll be collecting long beam actually right before we head to Mother Brain. And yeah, this part of the run is identical for most Zero Mission categories, because we do need to collect bombs. Which is the next major upgrade we're going to collect. Now, this room has a few hives that we need to shoot down in order to progress. So what you'll see me do is you saw me damage the hives prior to going up top, and that's in order to pass as smoothly past it as we can. And once the hives are gone in that room, they stay gone, so I don't have those enemies whenever I enter the room again. However, in this route, we won't enter that room again, because in 100%, classical 100%, you have two routes, and it diverges basically after collecting the bombs. You can either choose to go back the same way you came in and collect clean the top part of Brinstar later, or you can do what we're gonna do and clean up the top part of Brinstar immediately. That, amongst others, gives me an extra E-tank, so extra health, which is also an additional bit of safety, but it does require me to do use the bombs to infinite bomb jump to the top. And what infinite bomb jump does, if you time your bombs, you can gain you can scale any vertical distance. And it's an important technique for 100%. We used it in a lot of places. to do stuff a little bit earlier than we're intended to. Now we'll kill that enemy. Come on. Okay. Now this room is all about timing. And you can do it in a double fashion. You can also light with single bombs, and then you can scale that distance. And collect this statue. Now, since we do the statues out of order, they will point differently towards upgrades. For example, this statue points towards, let's see, I believe it's Wave Beam down at Norfair, which we'll collect later. We'll be doing a little bit of a sequence break. We do some things really out of order. For example, this area, this top part of Brinstar actually contains the Varia suit. So that suit allows you to go through heated rooms without taking any heat damage. And you can don't take damage from acid, but we're actually not gonna collect it here. Because at a later point in the run we get the Varia suit for free actually. So there's no need to pick this up. The only reason we go up here is to collect the E-tank that's right in front of the Varia suit. Yeah, so actually for the biggest part of the game we actually only use the power suits, so the basic suits. That does mean we take damage from heated rooms, from acids, but because we're well equipped, we can easily manage throughout. We're collecting a lot of E-tanks anyway, so we have health to spare. And yeah, this top early Brinstar cleanup route part is a little bit more tactical than the late Brinstar routes, because you do a lot of the infinite bomb jumps, and for most of those infinite bomb jumps you are trying to work your way around the enemies that are in your way. Extra E-tank, 10 missiles extra, which makes the ammo route in the next area a little bit better. Now let's see. I want you to go. Oh, I dropped a bomb. That's unfortunate. There we go, back up. Getting that bomb jump around the enemies is a bit precise. Like I mentioned before, you can do a lot of parts of these games in a different order. In order to get to Mother Brain, you need to beat Kraid and Ridley. You can do them in any order. There are shortcuts that do allow you to skip a lot of Norfair and get to Ridley. So in any percent, we actually make use of that. Fight Ridley first. In 100%, however, we fight Kraid first because we want Speed Booster in the Ridley area, and because that allows us to clean the Ridley area at our first visit. And since it's the furthest out of the way, we do want to clean that area up in one go. So we'll be collecting a few more missiles in this area, and then we'll enter Kraid area. So Naomi, how are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. I'm watching us run. Those diagonal bomb jumps that you did, oh, they're so good. They're so good. You're so good at this. All right. I just quickly want to mention, we just saw earlier with Yato presenting the prizes, that we have some plushies, and some of them are made by Rinabo, who is a plush maker and game developer currently working on Floating Wonderland, a retro-style 2D puzzle platformer that uses gravity to solve puzzles as you progress through several different stages. Wishlist it now on Steam and follow @Rinabo Games on Twitter for updates. And if you want more info, there's !floating in chat. Back to you, Box.
Yes, right in time as we're about to enter the Kraid area. Now, Kraid area we enter a little slightly earlier than we're intended to, because usually when you, if you follow the statues and collect items in order, you would actually, after bombs, go into the upper part of Norfair. collect power grip, and then you can grab ledges and climb. We don't have that upgrades, which means that we need to use bomb jumps actually to make our way across. Now, be careful here, not to step into the assets. Collecting a bit more. Oh, actually, I'm surprised with the low health that I have that I'm getting missiles from those drops. But well, we should manage. Now this, a few techniques you see me do is one of them is this, the wall jump. So you can jump, boost yourself from a wall and to gain height as well. It's a really nice climbing technique. The bomb jump, the infinite bomb jump I demonstrate as well. We'll be seeing a few more technical stuff in this category, but they come into play as soon as we get the speed booster, for example. Now, we go this way to collect a few of the missile tanks, but also to activate these zip lines, which makes it a lot easier to get across this area. There is a route in which you do this a lot later into the game, and you actually make your way across asset pits using or something that's called horizontal bomb jumps, but they are tactical. They're not easy. Now this asset worm, pretty straightforward fight. You just shoot it down and collect a missile tank, which is located down here. Items in this game are really well hidden. Because some of them are really in obnoxious places. But we activated the zip lines, we got the missiles down here. So let's go further into the area towards our big green friend's crate. Mouthful to say. One thing to note for the difference between late Brinstock cleanup and early Brinstock cleanup, like I said, early Brinstock cleanup has 10 missiles extra, so that means that you're better equipped for missile-wise for this part. And the reason why that's relevant is because we will be coming up on 2 side uppers that we need to kill, and they take 10 missiles each. Now, as you see, I'm on 24, but on late Brinstock cleanup, I would have been only at 14, so I would be really low. Missiles would have to supplement it with some shots. I missed that. Let's see. There we go. Slight mishap. Any percent actually skips activating the zip lines, but since you come after crate, you do have power grip, and you would use a technique to bomb jump yourself across of that last breakable block that we destroyed. These are the aforementioned side hoppers. Do a little bit of a bomb jump in the air because we like it. And we are gonna collect the mist tank here and head down into the depths of the crate area. And the theme in here is great. The only bad thing about this theme is that the timing of the melody that you hear in the background is slightly off compared to the timing you need for the bomb jumps. So that gives it a little bit of a difficulty learning this category. Because it relies a lot on the bomb jumps. And here we try to do a bit of a sneaky thing. Nope, didn't make the zip line. And we skip the ball cannon in the ground in order to get this mist tank. And further down we go. Now, another addition to these remakes is in the earlier areas you have these so-called unknown items. They activate into actual items at a later point in the game, because there's a whole section after defeating Mother Brain. The item we'll get here is, if I look at the icon, Space Jump. Really is a staple upgrade of the later Metroids. But you'll see the upgrades when they happen. And now in this room, you can kill all the side hoppers as you pass them. Nope. There we go. They take 2 missiles each, but their movements can mess you up a little bit. And we're already at crate. Oh. Getting a shot and landing on the platform is tight. Okay. There we go. High door. And we're into the crate boss fight. Now, the reason we do this later in any percent is you have super missiles at that point. And with super missiles, it's basically 3 super missiles and this fight is over. In 100%, not so much. Oh. Nope, he's not done. Almost done. There we go. That's crate down. And you see this cutscene appearing, that's the door before the Turian area, with the crate head and the Ridley heads. Unsurprisingly. We need to kill both bosses to be able to access Turian. So, we'll be collecting the main reason we got to this place, which is Speed Booster. Now, if you run in a straight line, after a while you start going really fast and you can run through blocks. But what you can also do, and what we'll immediately do a few rooms from now, is actually store the Speed Booster by pressing down and release it into a dash upwards, which is known as a Shine Spark. Now, you can do the Shine Sparks diagonally, horizontally, and basically it is needed to collect several items in this game. For example, well, this item you actually use normal Speed Booster to get, because you need to make the jump across the crumble blocks. But in Ridley area, we definitely need Shine Spark to do to collect a few items. That's also, it's hard required to. Oh, that is going well. Okay, to complete a few tricks now. When we exit crate, we see a cutscene containing Ridley. If in any percent, this cutscene would already be gone, since you've already beat Ridley. So that's also a little bit of a time save for that category. There's lots of stuff in this game that actually gives you a lot of freedom on how you play it. It gives you a suggestion for a sequence, but you don't have to follow it, actually. You don't have to do it in that sequence to beat the game. You can go your own way. Collecting an item here at the top. Missile tank. And we'll be going to Norfair finally, and we'll be taking a little bit of a shortcut in a bit. Let's see, but first we collect the ceiling energy tank here. There's also ceiling energy tank in Super Metroid. Morph Ball's also in a similar spot, so you know, all funs and references. Waiting for this enemy. And we'll take this shortcut. Allows you, it requires you to have bombs. And this brings us basically to where we fought the Charge Beam Beast. Now, what I'm gonna try here is I'm gonna try and set up a Shine Spark. There we go. Ah, missed it. Timing is a bit tight, but if I would have meant to recharge, I could have sparked across this distance. And we'll be going into the Norfair area, and we'll see a bit of a peek against Mother Brain. Now, a little bit of the lore of the game. This is Samus Aran's first mission, to kill the Metroids and kill Mother Brain, because they've been employed by the space pirates to try and take over the galaxy. These Metroids are these energy-sucking creatures that are really dangerous. We'll see a bit of them later. And Mod Brain will definitely fight as well. Now, we'll get this missile tank on the way back, because it's much quicker and easier to grab once we have power grab, ledge grab, which is what we're going to collect next. Now, we're going to be going into a new area. This area we're going into is not in the original Metroid. It's Criteria. And Criteria contains the ledge grab amongst the others, which is a new upgrade. It also has one of the second out of the 3 unknown items. This one is Plasma Beam from the icon. Looking at the icon, we'll see that one later as well. It allows us to shoot these blocks. Now, as of major upgrades, we do need ledge grab to continue into the right part of Norfair. There is a plant blocking your way if you don't get it. Now, with Speed Booster in hand, we can also get another upgrade a little bit earlier using a sequence break. We use a Shine Spark chain for that in order to obtain these super missiles. Super missiles are more powerful ammo. They do more damage and open green doors. And since we have them early, we can collect a few more upgrades down the way earlier. And down here is power grab. We're gonna get it right here. We get a little bit of grip on the situation. We don't wait for the platforms to spawn. We gonna try to get to the top before there we go. Before the platforms spawn into place. A little bit of a sneaky time save you can do. But power grip really makes our life a lot easier. Allows us to morph into tunnels from grabbing the ledge as well. For example, we do that here, but if we have charge, it also shoots a shot into the tunnel, which is nice. All good things located in there. Sorry for that. Now, with power grip in hand, super missiles in hand, we continue to the right part. We also are gonna make a use of Speed Booster to speed it up a little bit. Normally you would have to climb around a bit of a platforming section. We don't actually need to do that since we can. There's a Speed Booster shortcut actually. So we're gonna set up for that here and spark right through the wall. I'll collect a mist tank here. Diagonal shine spark. You can also shine spark straight up. I like that one because it allows you to ledge grab. And we're gonna collect another staple upgrades, the ice beam. Ice beam we do need for a trick in the Ridley area. All the routes actually get ice beam after the Ridley area, but yeah, a certain glitch we employed that makes our life a lot easier and makes us go a little bit faster. We can do using the ice beam. I'll get to that when we get there. Now let's see if the enemy is in the way. Yeah, it is. Okay, fast enough to pass it. Wall jump is your friend in here. Ledge grab is as well, but with wall jumps, you don't have to wait to freeze the enemies. You can just make your way across. And yeah, the big appeal of this category is it's a very technical category because of all the techniques you need to collect the items. But it's actually, normally you would say, oh, it's a 100% category would be much more difficult. In the case of Zero Mission, 100% is actually a lot easier because you have so many upgrades and items at your disposal. So, Naomi, tell me what you have to tell me.
Well, I got some exciting news, Boxmeister, because I just saw that we actually met the Portal 2 incentive to see Core 6 being ran. That's amazing. We hit that incentive, and there's still plenty more to hit. There is a naming incentive, and currently, Aglet is still in the lead, and Squid is second. So if you want to see Squid first, you gotta donate for that. We are also only 11 euros away from hitting 3,600 euros raised for mine. I want to see that during this run because Box, you're showing off such amazing skill. And I'm gonna let you get right back to it. Chat is really enjoying your commentary right now.
So you saw me collect that missile tank just now at the top. Getting that challenge park all the way at the top is tricky, and had I missed it, I would have to collect it much later, which is slower. So I'm really glad I got that. Also, I'm getting tormented by the flies over here. The flies are actually an RNG factor in this run, but that's fine. Now, upcoming here, we collect high jump, which also gives us the ability to jump in morph ball form. But immediately after this, there's a large heated room section. I'll be taking it a little bit safe, so I'll heal right here. I can also heal immediately afterwards, but a little bit of safety is not a bad idea. It's also not too big a time loss. Safety first, people. Consistency is the friend of a speedrunner. Now, little sneaky diagonal bomb jump to get that distance. Two supers kill that side hopper, which previously took 10 normal missiles. So you can see how much how helpful super is here. Now, this item we're normally not supposed to get this early, but we know where it is located, and if you know where to fire your missiles, you can get a shortcut to watch it. We just got Screw Attack, and Screw Attack is an overpowered item, because basically you spin attack into any non-boss enemy, and it's dead. It's really helpful. It also gives us allows us to go through the shootable blocks really fast through the floor, so it's really helpful. You don't necessarily need it to complete Ridley, but it's such an increase we have to collect it anyway, and it's nicely on the way here to collect, so it's convenient. Now, these heated rooms are the biggest remaining dangerous part in the 100% run, because you need to watch your health. Although with the refill I just took, this part is really free. Now imagine at late Brimstar cleanup route you have a 1 E tank less, so you're a little bit more strapped for health, and you would definitely have to take a refill. If you do it really well, you don't need only need to take 1 refill. There's also routes that does things in slightly different order, and then you don't have to take a refill at all if you do it properly. But that route is a bit more really technical. I am taking it a little slightly safer here, and we get Wave Beam. Wave Beam is also an item that we need to collect an item easily. It allows us to shoot through walls, which is also important. Also, all these beams that we collect also do increase our damage, the damage that our beam and charge beam does. So definitely has its use. Now, normally you're supposed to shoot through the wall with Wave Beam, but you can clip the missiles through the wall and kill the enemy instead, which is slightly quicker. Kill this enemy, collect the E-tank, and we're almost at the bottom of Norfair going into the Ridley area. Now, I did charge through the door in order to get that block, because you need to shoot that block immediately once you're through the door. And we're almost at the mini-boss right before the Ridley area. and we have a lot of ammo, so we can just shoot everything in our way. Speed boost, and we fight Cocoon here. Getting flies into my face, which is a lot of fun. Flies everywhere this summer. Let's see. This fly doesn't know when to quit. Now... There we go. That's the Cocoon phase. Now, we'll be fighting the second phase of this boss later. It'll activate once we enter the Ridley area here. Get a little bit of cutscene. Yeah, so yeah, here you see Ridley land on the planet and fly towards us. I'm surprised how quickly Ridley reaches us, since we're quite deep into the ground, actually. So we enter Ridley, we exit Ridley immediately to go fight the second phase of that boss. Now, normally that's the part where you would obtain super missiles for the first time, but since we got them earlier, we already collected a few. That also allows us to speed up that fight considerably, because super missiles deal that much more damage. So hopefully I'll get him in one round. Come on. Yes, okay, we got him. The thing is, once it loses its back part, it first needs to be right before it goes left and dies and gets you that super missile. Nope, did not get that setup. If you store the Shine Spark correctly and manage to get that, you can set up for a Shine Spark right in this room. Not the end of the world, really. I'll collect that super missile drop instead. And we go further into the area, collect all the items on the way as we head down. This is a bit of a fake out. It's a trap, but we got it. Some more super missile drops. And we're coming up on the reason why we actually collected Ice Beam earlier. Because normally you would have to set up for a speed booster, Shine Spark chain in order to get this item. But what we can do... Oh, crap. That was not what I wanted. Let's see. But if we freeze two enemies on top of each other and kill them with a bomb, we clip through the floor. And the reason this happens, and the reason why I had to kill the enemy at the top, is because the enemies go back to their respawn point, which is in the ground. So it gives you the vertical distance of the respawning enemies. And the reason it tries to do that is because you're once one enemy dies, it tries to put you on top of the other, but that one dies at the same time. Okay. This room is a bit precarious. There we go. Had a bit of a mishap there. Okay. We got the items. We also need to get a Shine Spark to get out of this place. Depending on how well I do my... Nope. Oh, still will recover that. Whew. Okay. Thought for a second I would fall down, but I managed to get the wall jump in time. Now this room is a good demonstration of the power of Shine Spark. Shine Spark really is great at horizontal distances. It's the fastest form of movement at a horizontal distance. The only reason we don't do it all the time is, well, because we can't do it all the time, obviously, but also because it has this startup animation and this bonking animation. So preferably we actually have a speed booster and ended a jump. Now we're doing two puzzle rooms back to back here in Ridley. First one is relatively easy, which is sort of a beat the burning fuse type of bomb puzzle. Like that. These are all crumble blocks down here, so if you fall down you have to reset the room and do it again. Oh. And now the next puzzle room is actually right on top of this. That one is a bit more tricky. it's a room we actually need wave beam for in order to set it up correctly. And you have to basically make a jump through speed boost blocks, and that jump has a four frame window to get it. 2 frame if you're on if you have bad luck, basically. So it's not a free trick, and at bad days you can really struggle to get it. There's a hidden pathway through this pipe here towards another mist tank. Lots of items hidden in here. We do the mortal jump in order to get the wall jump going, which is quicker than trying to set up a wall jump from the lava. And we make good use of super missiles to get basically more super missiles, which is a recurring theme. Sometimes you need to collect the one upgrade to collect more of that upgrade. And this is a bit of a dangerous part because there's crumble blocks down here, and if you fall down you have to set up a shine spark chain, which is a bit slow. And yeah, you see the power of screw attack in here. Kills every enemy you run into. Do this puzzle a little bit using the morph ball jump. And we're actually already quite close to Ridley, so yeah. Fun little boss. And if all is well, it's basically 1-1. Yeah, that's correct. This item checklist that you saw on my pause menu just now is something you acquire after completing the game. So this is a cleared game save file I'm running on. Doesn't then anything outside of that, and it's allowed for speedrun, so you know. No biggie there. This is the boss room, but we first have to collect the third unknown item. The gravity suit, which we'll see later. And this conveniently placed E-tank, which gives us a nice refill before the boss fights. But in this game, in this category, we're decked out for this boss. And you'll see how quickly Ridley dies, so don't blink. That's Ridley. Just spam the super missiles into the boss. Spam the missiles after that, and Ridley's down. Not as difficult as he is in Fusion, which I'll be running tomorrow, and in Super Metroid. Use this frozen enemy as a stepping stone. And we'll be heading towards the exit, collecting 2 items along the way. We also got quite a few super drops, so that's nice as well. Because we do need the super missiles in Turian. And we'll be heading up. Making good use of the unknown item passage, screw attack. Freezing another enemy in here in order to collect an item. Come on. That's not high enough. Oh, I tried to recover that. That's too high. That should be good. Yeah, there we go. It's all about timing it. Timing the jumps. Now these owl-like enemies have a high chance to drop supers, so I'm completely stocked up on those. And we're at the exit of this area with all the items collected, and we don't have to return to this area again. So that's nice. It's the furthest, like I said, furthest out of the way area, so it's really nice. We can clear it in one go. Don't have to return to it. Warfare, we do collect some items a little bit later in a more or less a bit of a cleanup section. This shine spark I'm setting up is precise. If you start too early, you get into sort of a speed bump situation. If you start too late, you're not gonna get it, obviously. That missile tank you saw down there, which we shine spark by, is one of those we get later. And towards Brindstar we had to clean up, to finish collecting all the items in that area, and going to Turian to fight Mother Brain. And yeah, we'll be heading soon towards the item that the first statue in the game pointed us to, the long beam. And long beam is absolutely not necessary to beat the game, but it's really nice. It does make a beam a little bit stronger, and having the beam travel across the entire stream is helpful. Now we'll be setting up for a bit of a shine spark puzzle here. Charge it here, and shine spark to get this super missile pack. And that's all of them in Brindstar. Aside from the major upgrades. The major upgrades are not in that checklist, but those speak a bit more for themselves. So normally after that first statue, you're expected to go in here. And Metroid does a great job of giving you a problem that you can't overcome with your current equipment, and then giving you something that an item that can actually solve that problem. For example, for long beam, your beam is not long enough to shoot all of those blocks, but with long beam you can. Reminder that you don't have bombs at that point. Do a sneaky, cute shine spark there. Wait for this to open, and then it's time for Turian. Now, if you've played Super Metroid, part of the soundtrack of this cutscene will sound similar, because it's the same as the intro for Super Metroid, this part. Now, the Metroids, you need to freeze them, and they take 1 super or 5 missiles to go down. So ideally, we would use supers. But they don't necessarily drop supers, and the more supers we have at the end, the faster the Mother Brain fight goes, basically. So it's all RNG depending on what drops we get in here. So you can do a really good job at executing, but still lose a lot of time because you don't get ammo drops properly. No super drops so far. Nope. Not yet. Oh, there we go. 2 drops. It's 2 super misses per drop, so... actually... Well, I want to have a minimum of 4 at the end for Mother Brain, because that's an ideal amount to minimally have. I'm not in much of an ammo requirement. Not as much as Super Metroid, for example, would be. Oh, that's... Nice. Okay, that's 2 drops. That's... makes this room a little bit faster. Oh, that's more drops. I like that. And may actually be nice here. Okay, that's relatively nice. And now we're into the Mother Brain room. In this game, Mother Brain also has these Zabbatite pillars in front of it. You can do a Zabbatite skip in Zero Mission. It's only worthwhile for any percent, since it means you don't have to refill your ammo as much. Because the previous room you can farm a lot of the ammo. for 100%, ammo is really not an issue. Now you see me do fire the ammo in a certain pattern, and that's to maximize damage before the eye closes. So it closes after 5 missiles or after a super. So that's why you fire 4 missiles and a super. We have the escape sequence after Mother Brain. You can wind up a speed boost by running into a body because it doesn't have the proper collision detection. Now, at the top of this elevator is normally where the original Metroid would have ended. It goes all the way to the top there for the escape. But this game continues. We have a whole section after that. And quite a lengthy cutscene coming up. So if our host has anything to say, now's a good time.
I sure do. So we are the BSG Marathon, or the BSG Speedrunning Gathering, Benelux Speedrunning Gathering. I definitely nailed that right there.
Yeah.
We are a dedicated organization focused on hosting marathons within the Benelux region. Currently, we are excited to be live streaming our annual event from Hotel Asteria in Van Rij, the Netherlands. Now, if you want to keep up with BSG Marathon, be sure to check us out on Twitter and Instagram under the handle BSG Marathon. Get a behind-the-scenes look of the event and stay up to date with the latest news on our marathons, events, and more. We are also in the process of uploading all of our VODs to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/BSG Marathon. So be sure to check it out, because we've had a lot of great runs so far, and you definitely want to watch some of those back.
Yes, indeed, there have been great runs. Now, Samus Aran took off her suit in 1986, if I remember correctly, when Metroid originally was released. It was a huge review. Oh my god, the protagonist is actually a girl. And you'll see that wall jumping comes from Samus alone, because she can wall jump in this Zero Suit form as well. She lost her suit, got ambushed on the ship, and we're on a mission to survive and collect a new suit in the Chozo temple. So we'll be going into this stealth section, which we commonly refer to as Metal Gear Samus. This is all about, well, ideally you would casually you would avoid detection. Okay, no mark of shame on me. If you collect the map there, you have a lengthy cutscene of getting the map. You don't want that. It's a mark of shame if you get that. Although dodging that is not a trivial thing. If you jump too high, you bonk into a block and then you fall down right into the map collects. Now, we'll be speeding up this section as much as we can. Whoops. Good that I took the refill. Because these pirates deal 1 E-tank of damage per if you run into them. But you also see if you are undetected for a little bit, then the alarm phase goes away. Nice. Okay, I got the wall jump skip and not getting that tripwire, so I can continue immediately here. That wall jump is tricky to get because it's very easy to sink below that tripwire line. And this section is also full of some shortcuts, which we'll use. Here you see a ship hangar, which is where we'll end the game at some point. Now, this whole extra section is all about getting back our power suits and defeating the pirate boss in the ship, Mecha Ridley. Well, once we get our suit back, we'll be heading into a bit of a clean-up section where we collect the remaining items with our new upgrades, which is a little bit of spoiler. Now I need to dodge these searchlights, take it a little bit safer. Otherwise, if we fail that, then we have to wait in this room. And we'll be continuing on as smoothly as we can. I jumped through the door because the door has to align a little bit. Let's see. Okay, still dodge pirates. I'm surprised. Because we fall down a little bit faster, saves a few frames. We take this shortcut, and this shortcut also turns off the alarm. Since otherwise pirates would be spawning on top of us, which is not a situation you would survive normally. This pirate does see us, but doesn't trigger the alarm for some reason. And we're into the old temple area. Now, a little bit of backstory. Samus Aran is an orphan raised by the Chozo. That's how she got her original power suit and abilities. Do a little bit of skip here using wall jumps. Yeah, that's a bit of her backstory. It's also the reason why she got sent to this planet to deal with the space pirates, because this planet is really dangerous to traverse, and she knows it like no other since she was raised here. Let's see. One. Nope. No turning off the alarm there. That's fine. We have a strat for that. We yeah. As mentioned before, it's faster to just run through most alarms here. There are places that block your progress if the alarm is still on, but there are ways to turn them off either by waiting, or in this case, you can also enter this safe room and it also turns off the alarm. We're getting close towards the end of this stealth section. Then we get a little bit of a mini boss fight. You see this pirate drag away the power bomb. It's a sprite, it's not real, but we'll be collecting the power bombs later, but we first need our suit back. Okay, pirate. Sure. That pirate was not having it. Okay. Yeah, your gun that you get here stuns pirates that charges up in it recharges fast enough that you can get the second pirate in the room that's in your way. But we're almost at the end. Now let's see if we can get nice shooting patterns. Ooh, that's a nice one. Okay. And we're almost at the end of this section. This is the last pirate alarm section, and as if all turns well, it turns off right here. So we're right before the mini boss. Quiet, peace and quiet, and we get this beautiful cutscene coming up, showing a little bit of Samus Aran's past. Before we head into this Chozo Ruins trial, or as we call this boss in the community, Charlie, because you know, nice name. And yeah, young Samus, the Chozo, the bird people you see in there. Now, this mini boss, you need to shoot whenever the four symbols, whenever the symbol appears, in order to light the four symbols. Oh, the first one is static. Now, for the remaining ones, it's faster to shoot yourself, which damages you, and it, on average, spawns the symbol faster. That's two. We keep moving in order to prevent the lightning from triggering. And that is a really good fight. Okay. Now, let's see if we can break free. I think I got it. Yeah, I got it. Okay, so these shots that are on screen, I will transition to the power suit here. I'll get the fire suit for free. And the items unknown items activate into, respectively, plasma beam, gravity suit, and space jump. And you see these glitch out shots? There we go. And now we've gone from almost having no power to the most powerful we can be. The space jump allows us to jump into the air and gain height easily. Plasma beam is the strongest beam in the game. And we immediately start on the item collecting spree. Super missiles here, and we set up for a Shine Spark chain. Okay, this one here. Actually, we do it a little bit safer because we collect the item, recharge, and activate the Shine Spark right here to collect this item. So we got the puzzle. That's nice. And we take a Shine Spark on the way back. Oh, if we press down a little bit later, that is. There we go. Now, gravity suit does a few things for us as well. We don't take any damage from lava or any fluid, almost any fluid really. It also allows normal movement in water and lava, so you can actually get speed boosts and shine sparks in there, which is nice. Let's see, I mentioned plasma beam, I mentioned space jump, I mentioned gravity suits. So yeah. Now, before we can clean up the other areas, again, we do need the power bombs. Unfortunately, power bombs are basically at the other side of the map. We are desperately looking to get power bombs a little bit earlier, even if it is just right here, because that would speed up our cleanup immensely. Because basically, the one item we need power bombs for is at basically the other side of the map, across those power bombs. So that is a little bit on the slow end. Now we kill everything in our way. Use a little shine spark to get to the top faster. And yeah, we go all the way to the control room of the ship to get the power bombs. Now, normally at the control room you can continue to the final boss to beat this game. But like I said, we're not done yet. We have a few areas to clear. Chozodia, which we're in Turian, Norfair, Crate. We'll be actually revisiting the Crate area. The power bombs first. Use a few of the shortcuts here. Now these black pirates can't be damaged by screw attack, but plasma beam is effective on them. You'll see them a bit more prominently later, especially at the end of the game. We're continuing on. Now, what you see me do here is shot a few diagonal shots with the beam, and that's to activate that robot into walking. And those robots walk slow, but missiles, super missiles do speed them up. And firing the beam shots here also speeds up this section, since you shoot at a lot of the blocks. Super missile management, there is a bit of super missile management we're doing here, because since everything dies to one super missile, so we do use them prevalently here. Especially with the limited amount of power bombs, we do need to take one refill at some point. But that's why we use the super missiles, since we get them refilled anyway. So, control room. And into the power bomb section. Another sprite carrying a power bomb. And let's see. Yeah, no. Power bomb is needed to open that door. And to get this power bomb tank here. Now, power bomb management is in the route I'm doing. Power bombs are routed out individually If you're really lucky, you get some power bomb drops on the way, which make your life a little bit easier, because so you can actually do some strats that are a little bit faster. But yeah, for the most part, we're very particular about how we use all of our power bombs. This power bomb usage is planned, for example, to get a shortcut in, so we can traverse that room a little bit faster later at the end. We also need power bombs to open a few doors in between to get a few items. Set up for this speed booster here, and use the remaining power bomb to open this one. And now we have this passageway to also work for us. And we're close to a refill. The reason I run into that robot is to make it turn around so that it doesn't accidentally start blocking our way. And yeah, we'll be going for the refill in this next room. $224. I have not missed a single item up until this point, so that's nice. Nice to know. There are ways to check your items aside from the checklist if you know the ammo counts. You remember that glass tunnel between the ship and the temple we passed? We'll be actually gonna do a little bit of a trick there. And I have one try to do this trick this way, otherwise I have to go for lower backup. Because I will charge a Shine Spark through this breaking bridge. Oh, that's unfortunate. I have to go for the backup now, that's fine. Because I want to Shine Spark through those blocks, but instead I'll be setting up Shine Spark in this place. It's fine. But this backup is a bit more iffy, because these enemies can shoot you out of your Shine Spark with their electric shots. We got the energy tank, slight detour, but that's fine. My run does allow for that, my estimate, I mean. Now, a few rooms from now, we are in Criteria actually, but there's a few items we collect on the way. Now, in this room here, there is the potential of getting a power bomb drop. Now, power bomb drop would help immensely, because I can do a faster strat a few rooms from now. We didn't get one, so normal strat it is. It's fine. It's the normal strats are impressive, because we'll be doing a Shine Spark chain to get an item. It's what we're gonna do is quite technical, so it's gonna be fun. So, going into Criteria. Criteria is right here. Shine Spark gets. And now, this is where it begins. We'll start here. Oh. That's fine. You can easily set that back up again. And we have to charge it here. Charge it here for safety. And we're almost safe. And as soon as we land this one, we're safe. This shoot. Yes, okay. That's good. Because I need the room to set up a Shine Spark for this powerbomb item. We also need a powerbomb to get this powerbomb, so there is actually no way to get this earlier than what we do now. Now let's see if we get... Nope. we're actually going back to Turian to collect a few items. These items also are a bit technical to collect, but that's fine. You see that Turian has changed a bit in looks compared to last time, since there apparently was a big explosion here. No planets blown up in this game. There we go. There's a spot. Now this fluid from the mother brain tank is actually one of the few fluids that does damage us after getting gravity suits. Now here we'll be setting up for a space boost, space jump with speed boost. Oh, no, it did not respond to my aid inputs, that's unfortunate. And I need that to break the wall across. There's also a way, I think, to do it through Shine Spark. Not sure if I should attempt that. I think it's this one. Oh yeah. I nailed the harder trick, actually. That's nice. That Shine Spark is quite precise. Since you need the correct height for that. So if you're too high, you bonk the wall. If you're too low, you also bonk the wall. But that's nice. Turian now should be done, which it is. And we'll continue towards the rest of the game. And, well, you saw me lay a power bomb there. And that's to open this up. And you wonder, well, where does this winding way lead? Well, I will tell you exactly where this leads. This will lead to the very interesting location, which is known as Brimstone, because this is the place where we actually started. This is where we started the game, actually. This exact spot. So it's conveniently located to allow us to head towards the crate area. Brimstone's cleanup, like I said. And crate area is next. Now, we don't have to collect a lot of things in crates. There's one thing we do a little bit later because it's just faster to do later. This item we're gonna collect right now, we do now because, well, we need gravity suit for this. Do a little bit of a... Come on. No. Didn't trigger the ball spark up. That's fine. We can go back the same way we went when on the way in. And then a few more items. Now this item you can technically collect earlier, but it's a little bit faster to do it right now. Since we have high jump now and such. And then we go back the way we exited when we defeated crates. Get this item, since it's also a little bit faster to get this one now. Sneakily roll under, and then we're gonna use Screw Attack actually, and Power Bomb to take a shortcut into the Norfair area, because there's a shortcut right here. And that's great area done. And now we clean up Norfair. Now, there is a power bomb pack we're about to collect, and this power bomb pack, you do need gravity suit to get that. There is a test that is no mini bosses, no bosses that gets that. By dying at the same frame, it goes into door transition using a trick that's known as a zombie hover, grabs that power bomb tank. But since Samus dies immediately afterwards, it's not useful. But yeah, we have some thoughts on early power bombs, but it's another thing, unfortunately, for this game. Early power bombs would break open the game immensely. Now I will be setting up for Shine Spark here. That should be high enough, I think. Yeah, there we go. You can also do a space boost here, but the space boost, it's very easy to drop too low and bunk into this one. But the Shine Spark is not too much lower. As I mentioned before, Shine Spark is the fastest form of movement through the screen. It's slightly faster in movement actually than the space boost. But yeah, the animation makes space boost still the fastest form of movement there. Now wait for this. Because we do need to get the distance to set this up. Then we should be almost done. Yeah, 2 of them, that's correct. Oh, and now let me check grade as well. Where was grade? Grade was right here. Yeah, that one's completely gone. I do want to get 100%, don't want to pull Zonerus right there. He got, I believe he missed 1 or 2 items in the Metroid Zero Mission Romac showcase. So I do want to keep the percentage high here. Shout out to Zonerus and NaomiiiPlays for their showcase, by the way. They did a great job. And yeah, we're almost, we're getting close towards the end of the game. We're almost done with our cleanup. Getting 2 more items in Norfair, then Norfair is done. Getting a last item in Criteria. And then it's Chozodia for the remaining part of the game. Now, the next trick I'm gonna do is actually featured in the title screen demo. So when you leave the title screen on for long, gameplay starts showing, and this ball spark is in it actually. And it, actually reminded the runners that you can do this trick in this room in order to get across a little bit more quickly. The ball spark is the fastest way to get across that room. Oh yes, I got space boost all the way to the end. That's nice. It's very easy to clip into the ceiling there and fall down. But that's nice. And with that, we're done with Criteria, and we're almost at the end of the run. Yeah, this is looking pretty decent, I'd say. So, Criteria will be going the same way we went through as we went through earlier when on the way to Power Grip. We'll start similarly for this trick as well. But we have... unfortunate. You know what? Do this the backup way. Because there is an item on that screen, but luckily the runway we have here is long enough to set it up. So we're gonna do it like this. And actually get the item this way. That's the last missile tank in this area. So Chozodia from here on out. So let's get those power bombs working. And yeah, we basically right very close to where we got our current power suit is where one of the items that we need power bomb for is located. Oh, actually, I am the wrong way. Need to be here, actually. Okay, there we go. So we're almost at the end. And yeah, it still holds its power bombs to get more power bombs. although we do have items that speed up our movements considerably. The only thing on which Zero Suit Samus is actually faster is that her gun actually shoots bomb blocks, and yeah, that's not something we can do in this form, unfortunately. So we actually need to take a little bit more time in these rooms to get through. A lot of the music playing. Naomi, do you have some more messages for us?
Of course I do. So we reminded people of the prizes that we have. Again, if you want to check out our prizes, be sure to check bsgmarathon.com/donate. And one of the prizes is actually a game called Zoetti. That's how you should pronounce it. And Zoetti is a turn-based roguelite developed by Dusklight and published by Akupara Games. It features a deck of playing cards used to create card combos and activate skills in the heat of battle. Bolster your arsenal of skills and overcome the evil plaguing your land. Ooh, I'm almost running out of breath there. Check out Zoetti now on Steam, and that's a minimum of €10. Do exclamation point Zoetti to find out more. It's exclamation point ZOETI. Back to you, Box.
Thank you very much. We collected the item that was furthest across from the power bomb, so now we'll be heading back, collecting a few more items along the way, and we actually need to return towards the part where we started the stealth section, because there's also some items located over there. So last few items of cleanup. It's smooth sailing. It's mostly smooth sailing from here, actually. So. Let's see. We need to open the wall here, and fun facts, Shine Spark actually moves faster than a missile, as you can see. So I fired a missile before Shine Sparking, and you actually catch up to the missile, which is really cool. Got the item, and now it's back to the start of the stealth section. This section is a little bit different since we broke the glass tube, so we actually have the space jump here. Oh. Was slightly too low with that bomb. That's fine. Those atomics, the orb-like enemies that shoot lightning, they actually don't shoot lightning at you if you hold a charge beam shot. They actually are attracted towards you. So that's one strat we do in that room in order to safely pass through, because yeah, being shot out of the sky is unsurprisingly a time loss. That's nice. Now let's do a little bit of a looping. There we go. You can. I love doing that. I love doing that. You have the time to do that. Actually, lay a power bomb here to actually kill an enemy. Now. Let me reset that up. And dodge the map room on the way back as well, so that's nice. Getting the super missiles. You have all of the super missiles, I can tell, because 30 is the max. And yeah, we have an item right here. Power bomb tank. Unsurprisingly, power bombs get more power bombs. Now we can head back, and if all is correct, I only have one E-tank going on. Indeed, one item remaining. It's the item is that E-tank is located in a convenient spot right before the final boss. So it all works out. Now that last E-tank is actually not an easy E-tank to collect, because it is located below a room. It's located at the end of a room filled with tripwires. And in order to get there, you either need to shine spark across or need to do some really precise space jumps. So but we'll be setting up for the shine spark chain, making use of first we need to get there. We make use of the shortcut we opened up earlier, so we don't need to loop all around the room. Oh, yeah, the final boss is located near the control room. Also pirates, but they're no longer a big threat to us. So below this room, the E-tank is located. So first of all, we need to open up this. Oops, these dice. I jumped slightly too early. There we go. And then what we're gonna do, charge a shine spark. That should make it. Yeah, this space jumping through this section is hard since you have these low hanging tripwire blocks. And but we can shine spark through the room before the final boss. Now the final boss takes 6 supers in any percent and 18 supers if you have all 100 items. So you can immediately tell if something's wrong if he takes less hits than that. Now wait for the claw stripe. Yeah, I have 100%. That much I'm certain of. Did I get a super drop from that? That's nice. Okay. Now, the final boss is done. Time is not yet. Because we have an escape sequence in good old Metroid tradition. And at the end of the escape sequence, it's time. So, basically, we make our way across all the rooms back towards the escape pods. So those blue pods with the doors that we passed on the way. And yeah, it's basically getting there as fast as we can. We do need to set up for a trick at some point during the escape sequence to get to the ship a little bit faster. And we have one try to do it, because if we mess up and lose it in the next room, well, we can't set it back up again since the door is closed behind us, actually. Okay, dodge the shots. Now, the setup starts in this room. First of all, I'll use the remaining supers to get this thing out of the way. Okay, I failed it here, but that's fine. Did kill the enemy, so let's see. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a shine spark chain I'll be doing here, and I'm gonna take it safe because I absolutely want to nail this trick, and we can set up for this ball spark, which leads us to the last room in the game. Now, I do want to ask Dak to get ready on time. We need to kill these 2 black pirates first before the door opens, but once I'm enter the ship, it's time. Get ready, time! I can do a little bit of a sneak peek here. This is roughly what my in-game time at the end is going to be, the 1:01:52. Few seconds more. And you see this pirate tries to stop us, but it's gonna fail. and that's we exit the ship and we exit the planets. Zebes is not blown up in this game. We do that in Super Metroid actually, so you get to live today. And yeah, that's the run. Now, I'm not sure how we're currently doing on schedule. We can sit through the credits and watch the percentage screen, but if we're really tight on schedule, yeah, we'll do that then. Shoutouts, I do want to give a shoutouts already to the Zero Mission community. Great people in there. They really push the game a lot. A lot of community is actually shared with the Metroid Fusion community as well. Lots of people run both games actually, since they do to an extent require skill sets that have some overlap. Zero Mission is a bit more tactical. It's also made to be a fast game, and to prove that point, any percent category of Fusion is about as long as the 100% category of Zero Mission, which goes to show you. Yeah, the music in this game is great. The game is really a well-made remake, Zero Mission. Developers added so much to the game in terms of things you can do, routes you can take. If you want to see what a good remake looks like, this is the game to look at. Actually, compared to Metroid. Metroid 1, that is. And yeah, we definitely finished below 2 hours, so we have all 100 items, so we're gonna get the best ending art. You get different ending arts depending on your completion and the time in which you do it. That's if you do it under 4 hours, you get Samus, at the very least, Samus' face shown, and you get her Zero suits, amongst others, if you finish below 2 hours. You see the Chosen runes here. Fun little fact: this scribble that's shown in this ending here is also actually there when you during the Chosen trial mini boss. It's actually a drawing by our protagonist. It's adorable. So, ending completion screen. No surprises here anymore. And yeah, the gravity suit looks really badass. Zero suit also looks really cool. But here we have Samus Aran celebrating a mission done well. Rate for collecting items is 100%. As soon as this art shows up, I know it's 100%. Yeah, see you next mission. My next mission will be tomorrow morning at around 4. I'll see you back there then. So I'll throw it over back to you, Naomi.
Thank you so much, Boxmeister. Oh my god, you are so good at this game and you know so much about these games. It was an absolute pleasure to watch you. We are gonna go over back to setup for our next game, which will be Bomberman Hero. But I do have a bit of sad news. This is my last hosting shift for the event and I'm about to end it. Thank you guys so much for having me, and let's go to the intermission.